What if I told you there's a quiet path to adding 30 vibrant years to your life, starting right now, even after 60? Margaret never planned for her husband to leave so soon. At 63, standing beside his grave, she faced a terrifying question. How many years do I really have left? But instead of surrendering to fear, she discovered 5 powerful secrets. Simple changes that science quietly whispers about, yet few truly follow. I'll share Margaret's journey today. Perhaps it might become your journey too. Margaret's story isn't unique because she was lucky. It's unique because she chose to fight back, to rewrite the script society handed us after 60. And the 5 secret tricks she followed, that's what we'll uncover together, step by step. Number 1, the muscle revival. Your new fountain of youth. You don't lose muscle because you're old. You get old because you lose muscle. That was the first truth Margaret never expected to hear. It happened on a chilly December morning. Margaret had just finished her weekly grocery run, carefully stepping across the icy Vermont parking lot. But one small slip, and she was on the ground. The fall didn't break any bones, thank heavens, but the bruises on her hip stayed for weeks. At her next doctor's visit, the conversation took an unexpected turn. Margaret, her physician sighed gently. Your muscle mass has dropped significantly. At your age, every year you lose about 1%, and that's putting you at high risk for fractures, mobility loss, even loss of independence. It wasn't about vanity. It was survival. You see, after 60, sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, silently steals strength, balance, and stability. The body's once sturdy frame becomes fragile. But what most people don't realize is that muscle isn't just for lifting things. It's an active organ. It produces myokines, special chemicals that reduce inflammation, boost brain health, and even fight off certain cancers. If you're finding this surprising so far, stay with me. Because the next secrets Margaret discovered may completely change how you think about aging. Determined not to become another fragile statistic, Margaret made a decision. She wouldn't chase youth. She'd chase strength. But where to begin? The idea of working out at 63 sounded intimidating. She wasn't about to start bench pressing at a gym full of teenagers. That's where her physical therapist introduced her to resistance training for seniors. Gentle, safe, but powerful. Margaret started small, 15 minutes with light resistance bands, gentle body weight, squats by the kitchen counter, slow, deliberate stair climbing at home, 30-minute brisk walks around her neighborhood. Every week, her confidence grew. By month 3, she noticed her balance returning. By month 6, her energy climbed. 1 year later, Margaret was hiking woodland trails she hadn't dared attempt in years. Science backs up her success. Studies from the Journal of Aging Research show that seniors who engage in resistance training 2 to 3 times per week experience up to 50% reduction in falls, improved insulin sensitivity, lower risk of heart disease, and even sharper cognitive function. Yet, many older women still believe lifting weights is dangerous or unnecessary. I thought exercise was for the young, Margaret once confessed. Now I see it's my medicine. The real danger lies in doing nothing, allowing muscles to melt away, balance to fade, and independence to slip through our fingers quietly. Build your muscle, and your muscles will build your future. Number 2, the sunshine hormone, mastering vitamin D. After 60, sometimes what's missing can't be seen, but it can slowly steal your strength. That's precisely what Margaret's subsequent discovery revealed. A few months into her strength journey, Margaret began feeling something odd. She was stronger, yes, but still oddly tired, with occasional aches that didn't quite make sense. Her doctor suggested a simple blood test. The results? Startling. Margaret, your vitamin D levels are dangerously low. She was stunned. After all, she ate well, took her multivitamins, and spent time outdoors gardening. But she didn't realize how age changes the body's ability to produce vitamin D. After 60, the skin becomes far less efficient at converting sunlight into this crucial nutrient. Studies show seniors may produce up to 70% less vitamin D than when they were young. And vitamin D isn't just about bones, though that's important enough. It's deeply involved in immune function, cardiovascular health, brain performance, and even protection against certain cancers. Low levels have been linked to higher rates of osteoporosis and fractures, increased risk of infections, greater risk of cognitive decline, elevated heart disease, and stroke incidence. Margaret remembered how her mother had become frail in her 70s, struggling with brittle bones and confusion. Suddenly, it all made sense. She was determined not to follow that path. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, the brain fuel, outsmarting dementia with food in mind. Your brain isn't destined to fade with age unless you let it. This was the lesson that struck Margaret the deepest. For years, Margaret carried a quiet fear in her mind. She had watched her mother slip into the dark fog of Alzheimer's in her early 70s, forgetting names, faces, even her own daughter's voice. Is that my future too? Margaret often wondered, whispering those words alone at night. When she shared this fear with her doctor, the answer surprised her. Margaret, your genes might hold the loaded gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. It was the first time she fully realized how much power she still held. According to multiple studies, genetics account for only about 30% of dementia risk. The remaining 70% comes from daily choices, food, movement, and mental engagement. Margaret dove into learning everything she could about protecting her mind. And what she discovered was surprisingly simple. Her brain needed fuel, calories, and the right kind of fuel. She adopted elements of the Mediterranean diet, which has been shown to reduce dementia risk by up to 40%. Fatty fish like wild-caught salmon, twice a week. For rich omega-3s, extra virgin olive oil, a tablespoon daily, nourishing her blood vessels. Blueberries and blackberries loaded with protective antioxidants. Leafy greens like spinach and kale are rich in folate and brain-supporting nutrients. Walnuts and almonds, small handfuls for healthy fats and cognitive support. But nutrition was only half the battle. You have to exercise your mind just like your muscles, her doctor reminded her. So Margaret added new daily habits, crossword puzzles with her morning tea, reading new books from the library every month, learning basic Spanish through a mobile app to challenge her memory, joining a small discussion group at her local community center. Within months, she noticed a clarity returning, like a fog gently lifting from her thoughts. Conversations felt sharper, memories came easier, and even her mood grew lighter. What once felt like a slow drift toward decline now felt like building a fortress around her mind. Many people her age fall into the same trap, believing forgetfulness is simply part of getting older. But Margaret's journey proved otherwise. You can't control your genes, but you can absolutely control your plate, your habits, and your hope. Number 4. The Heart Whisperer, calming the silent killer. The greatest danger is often the one you cannot feel until it's too late. That's the truth Margaret faced when her doctor uttered 2 simple words: high blood pressure. It was a routine checkup. Margaret felt fine. She wasn't dizzy. She didn't feel sick. Her weight was stable. But as the nurse wrapped the cuff around her arm and the machine beeped, a quiet concern filled the room. "Margaret, your blood pressure is creeping higher than we'd like." She blinked in surprise. "But I feel perfectly fine." That's what made hypertension so dangerous. They call it the silent killer for a reason. No symptoms, yet quietly damaging arteries, stiffening vessels, and increasing risk of heart attack and stroke with each passing year. Her doctor explained that much of this creeping danger wasn't physical. It was rooted in something most seniors face: chronic stress. The years of caregiving, grief, loneliness, and life transitions had left invisible fingerprints on her nervous system. When stress remains elevated, the body pumps out hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, constantly alerting the heart and vessels. Over time, this continuous fight or flight response wears down the body, raising blood pressure, thickening arteries, and exhausting the heart. Margaret realized she couldn't control life's hardships, but she could control how her body responded to them. Her doctor introduced her to a simple, gentle practice: mindful breathing. No complicated meditation, no hours of silence, just 5 minutes a day of calming her nervous system. Margaret began with box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold, exhale, hold, repeating gently. Light stretching before bed with calming music. Soft morning walks in nature, listening to the birds instead of her racing thoughts. A weekly, gentle yoga class at the community center. Week by week, something shifted. Her blood pressure began to normalize. Sleep became deeper and more restorative. The tightness in her chest that she once ignored started to melt away. Many seniors mistakenly believe that blood pressure is entirely genetic or just part of aging. But Margaret's gentle habits proved otherwise. Her doctor smiled at her next appointment. "Margaret, your heart is much happier now." Sometimes, the most powerful medicine isn't a pill, but a pause. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, the power of connection, never aging alone. Loneliness doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes it quietly moves in. One empty chair, one silent phone call at a time. Margaret learned this truth in the loneliest season of her life. After her husband's passing, Margaret's house grew quieter each month. The echoes of conversations, shared meals, and long silence replaced evening walks. At first, she kept busy, cleaning, gardening, and watching her favorite shows. But soon, days blended into weeks. The phone rang less, invitations slowed, and without realizing it, Margaret began to withdraw. "I wasn't depressed," she later admitted. "I just felt invisible." But she didn't know then that social isolation isn't just sad. It's dangerous. Harvard's 80-year study on longevity revealed a stunning truth. People with strong social connections live significantly longer and healthier lives. Loneliness increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, cognitive decline, and even early death, sometimes more than smoking or obesity. Her doctor gently warned her, "Margaret, your body needs people as much as it needs food or exercise." Determined not to let loneliness steal her remaining years, Margaret made a bold choice. She reached out. It started small. She joined a weekly book club at her local library, adopted a rescue dog, Daisy, who became both companion and walking partner, volunteered twice a month at the community food pantry, reconnected with old friends for Sunday coffee dates. As weeks turned into months, something beautiful unfolded. Her laughter returned, her energy grew, her physical health improved. She got better sleep, had stronger immunity, and had lower blood pressure. "I thought I was adding years to my life," Margaret smiled. "But really, I was adding life to my years." Too often, people over 60 assume shrinking their social world is natural. Kids grow up, friends move away, and energy fades. But Margaret's story proves otherwise. Connection is medicine. We're not meant to grow old alone. We're meant to grow old together. The 30-year gift. It's never too late. Most people count their years. Margaret decided to count her possibilities. And now, so can you. Looking back, Margaret's journey wasn't about complicated science or radical change. It was about simple, quiet choices that anyone can still make at any stage of life. She rebuilt her muscles, not for vanity, but for freedom. She restored her vitamin D, turning sunlight into a daily prescription. She fed her brain, not with fear, but with nourishment and curiosity. She calmed her heart, not with pills alone, but with breath and stillness. And perhaps most powerfully, she reached for others, refusing to grow old in silence. Margaret didn't find some magical secret that the rest of us missed. She simply listened to her body, mind, and soul, whispering, "It's not too late." And science agrees. These small daily decisions can add years to your life, and more importantly, life to your years. If Margaret could start at 63, anyone can start today. And whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, your next chapter can still be your strongest, brightest one yet. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time, right now. So now, I gently turn the question to you. Which of Margaret's 5 secrets will you start with today? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more heartfelt advice, and share it with someone you love who may need this encouragement too. Because together, we're not just growing older, we're growing stronger.